The zombie is a typical monster in Hollywood movies. At a glance, there are over 1,000 movies about this genre. The filmmakers unleash their creativity and imagination soars far away with the monstrous. Today, let's take a look at the very unique scenes in the zombie movies. Let's get started. Ninth FAP, The Battery 2012. Set in a post-apocalyptic setting due to the zombie pandemic, few people probably know about this movie due to the lack of wide release. The film was also filmed within 15 days with a budget of only $6,000. The Battery tells the story of two sports athletes fleeing bloodthirsty zombies in their van car. A rather funny scene happened, when Mickey was locking himself in his car. The guy is attacked by a beautiful female zombie. At first, Mickey was scared and entrenched in the car, but when he saw two juicy peaches pressed against the window, Mickey couldn't help it. He has not been close to girls for a long time, so he relieves himself by fighting ideas in FAP. However, unfortunately, just as he was about to shoot, his friend Ben outside shot the girl with a gun. Mickey wasn't done working at that time, and his friend caught him doing FAP.
I'm sorry, man. Oh, shit.
8. Zombieland 2009. The zombie film directed by Ruben Fleischer offers a humorous, fresh look at the zombie movie genre. A group of survivors must work together to survive, reaching the promised land of America. Along the way, they encounter many difficult situations. The opening scene of the film is impressive, interspersed with the main character Columbus explaining the principles of survival in Zombieland, which are fun, humorous scenes that illustrate those principles. There are 33 survival principles, but the most noticeable is when killing a zombie with a gun. You need to shoot a few 3 times to make it die completely, then turn away. Ban on wedding gatherings during the COVID season.
Well, maybe it's time to stop driving carpool.
Be careful with toilets and bathrooms. Of course, even if there is no epidemic, you must fasten your seatbelt. If you don't wear a car seatbelt, you must wear a seatbelt for the first round, not let it loose like this beautiful zombie sister. 7. Zombie 2 1979. Zombie 2 is the sequel to the hit film Dawn of the Dead, 1978, directed by George Andrew Romero. However, the director of Part 2 is Lucio Fulci. After discovering unusual research activities on the island of Madel, a Caribbean island, Susan Barrett and her husband sailed here to investigate the matter. It seems that zombies versus humans is not a fair fight. Director Lucio Fulci decided to pit zombies against sharks, in a battle at the bottom of the ocean. While diving into the sea, Susan spotted a shark, so she hid in the nearby coral. After avoiding the shark, she is attacked by a swimming zombie. Unknown before the transformation, this zombie is a swimmer or a JAV actor whose movements seem very professional. Susan fortunately escaped from the warm embrace of the zombie. It seems that this zombie wants to how off to the girl, so he attacked the shark to get points with the beauty. The zombie had just torn a piece of the shark's meat when the shark also bit its arm. Well, this bet is considered a draw. 6. Peninsula 2019. One of the most attention-grabbing scenes in the Peninsula is the brutal death and death arena scene, where humans use their own kind as bait for zombie to chase. However, compared to the villain of the first part, who performed this cruel act to find a way to survive, in the second part, they did it as a bit of entertainment. The dark side of man is pushed to the extreme, so that the viewer can clearly see its horror. This is one of the most distinctive elements that the Peninsula script possesses. In this arena there is a zombie form that we have never seen on screen. It is a bunch of zombies sticking together into a chaotic block, moving at very fast speeds, ready to split to attack the player. 5. Dead Snow 2009. You've probably heard a lot about the Nazi experiments during World War II, including how they resurrected the dead to fight. Dead Snow is a Norwegian horror film, about a group of friends traveling in a snowy mountain region, once a Nazi base. This army of undead will rise if anyone dares to touch their gold. Poor old Mastin just got bitten on the arm by a zombie. If he doesn't want the virus to reach his heart and mutate, he must quickly amputate his arm. However, just as Mastin was recovering from the pain, a zombie popped out of the snow and bit his spot. What should you do? If you were bitten on your hand, you will cut your hand. If you were bitten there, you must be castrated. 4. Shaun of the Dead 2004. A funny movie. While happily watching the news together, Shaun and Ed come face to face with an amputated zombie attacking the house. The two tried to use the necessary items thrown at it to escape, but in vain, eventually had to use an ashtray to defeat it. Not stopping there, the other zombies also took turns pulling into Shaun's house like going to a party. The two of you must use the vinyl records in Shaun's collection to throw at the poor zombies. Then Shaun stopped because of his regret. They used a stick and a shovel to destroy them. This scene is not bloody, but it is quite good, combined with a very good soundtrack. 3. Braindead 1992. This zombie movie is the first work of genius director Peter Jackson. The film tells the story of a Sumatran rat-faced monkey kept in the Wellington Zoo in New Zealand, a hybrid creature created from the rape of tree monkeys by plague-carrying rats. Escape from Skull Island. The bite from this ugly monkey turns an elderly woman into a zombie hungry for human brains. Her son is also director Peter Jackson, because he loves his mother and tries to hide her, causing the disease to spread all over the city. The main character is Lionel facing a bunch of zombies who are holding a music festival in his house. But unfortunately now it's past 11 p.m., the noise can affect the neighbors. So he was forced to disperse the crowd with a lawnmower. With the saw blade in Lionel's hand, he announced the end of the party and started the machine. This is probably the bloodiest zombie carnage in the history of zombie movies. 2. World War Z 2013. One of the heart-stopping scenes of the blockbuster World War Z. The army brings refugees to Jerusalem safely behind a giant concrete wall. There, Arabs and Jews embraced, danced and sang just before they were all engulfed by bloodthirsty zombies. It can be seen that the Israelis in the film are not subjective, even knowing the information in advance, so they built a wall to block zombies. In fact, collective prayer in general does not work, but becomes a sign for zombies to come and attack. In World War Z, it was this collective prayer and singing that caused the noise to fly outside the wall and provoke the zombies on the other side to reverse the situation. Because at that time, Jerusalem still did not know the information that zombies were awakened by strong noises. 1. Cemetery Man 1994. The film is about a certain guy, whose family has 3 generations to look after the cemetery. He has a fat brother named Francesco. Both are sustainable FA youths. It has been nearly 40 rice seasons, but no one has touched anyone's butt. Cemetery Man is a quirky but fun comedy. The guy Francesco, because he was so bored with the single life, asked his best friend to match up a girl. But where do the custodians of the cemetery get a girl now? He introduced his friend to a girlfriend lying on the ground 3 feet below. If you are lonely for a long time, lack of love too much, then use it temporarily. A guy dug up a pretty girl in a bridal gown, but only her head remained. The two of them begin an innocent romance. Not to be inferior to his friend, he also found himself a zombie friend to relieve his sadness. He finds an older-looking girlfriend, but the one is full arms and legs. And the tragic situations continued after that. The video ends here. Hello and see you in the next video.